Reset the stream.
Oh,
All right.
Excuse me?
And I think we're live. Yes. Hello, everyone. Okay, episode 7 of the Untitled Goon podcast. Reset the stream.
Go 7.2.
7.2 on Untitled Roundtable, episode 7.
Mm,
It's me,
stepper.
Marvin. We got Hakeem and Kenny.
yes.
Sorry about that. I had to restart the stream because for a moment there I thought shit was messing up. And I think we're live. Yes.
Hey, man, it'd be like that.
It'd be like that.
Mm.
But
Out
yeah,
here now.
episode sevens is Big Stepper or Big Flopper. We're just gonna talk about the Kendrick album that came out recently, and I guess like share our thoughts on it, our favorite bits of the song, all that jazz. I'll go first. I give it a solid 9 out of 9.5 out of 10.
Ooh. That's some points right there. Okay,
I mean, I said 9.5.
that's some points.
Actually,
That's still a lot.
that's still a lot. Actually, I feel like it's too much. I don't really weight it correctly.
Hey man,
I mean,
hey,
it's
you got
whatever
you.
you want it to be,
Hey,
right?
you gave it.
Okay, let me just go with a 9.8.
You gonna lower it? All right.
No, I'm not gonna lower it. In my
So
heart
you
it's
said 9.8.
yeah,
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah, 9.8.
Okay.
I mean, in my heart it's 10 out of 10, but I feel like it's 9.8.
All right.
Um,
Why is that? Or
I guess my chain of thought is this:
mm,
everything was great, and it was the perfect Kendrick like production. Everything is
mm.
fine. I think I just wasn't a fan of one song and its production. I should have written down which one it is. Hold on, I need to double check. Yeah, hold on. Not to freaking. No, not this one. No. Shit, damn it, I can't even remember it. Nah, it's
Which
fine.
one? How did it go?
Uh, shit. You see, to be honest, this episode is like very by the nose. Yeah, we're winging it hard, so no, not this one. It's one of the earlier songs. Fuck.
That you didn't like? What, Worldwide Steppers? Was it that one?
No, not that one. It was something that had like more upbeat, a lot of trumpets and horns in it. Fuck. Wow, my memory is awful. I'm sorry, everyone.
I
Put
think it
me in
was.
a. I need to go to a senior citizen home at this point.
Maybe it was 1095.
Probably. No, not in N95. Oh, it was N95. You're right. It
Mm.
was N95. Hope you guys enjoyed me playing it on stream. A little bits of it, trying to figure out which song it was. But yeah,
That's crazy.
it was N95. I wasn't feeling the production on that one. Not that it was bad or
Dang.
anything. It just wasn't. It's just
It
not
didn't
my
resonate.
palette. Yeah, yeah.
I feel that.
I've always been more of a fan of Kendrick's more like jazzy beats.
Mm.
But other than that, this whole album is great. Um, uh,
Easy. N95, definitely one of my top 5.
yeah, I won't.
What do you rate the album, Hakeem?
What do I rate the album? I'll give it. I'll give it out of 10 points. I will give it. Hold on 1 second. You think about it for a second. You know what? I already know. I already know what's gonna be said.
Oh yeah.
That
How so?
that I'm a shill,
Uh
but
huh.
fuck it. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not gonna talk about your favorite parts, or
Yeah, you need to expand on. I mean, I guess when you say 10 out of 10, there isn't really much to expand on, really.
Well,
well, I mean,
there's a lot of reasons why.
Then why are you being quiet?
I just wanted to see what y'all thought about that rating.
I mean, I don't think
That's a good
it really
rating.
matters. Well, you're telling us why you like it, right?
All right, so
Us.
I'll tell you why. All right. So the reason I give it a 10 out of 10, right,
Mm-hmm.
is because for one, I'll say the structure. I think the structure of it is very good and it flows super well, which is something that Kendrick is usually good at, but it's something that, I feel like gets lost in translation with a lot of newer music and newer albums and collections of music in general. I feel like the order is I feel like it gets brushed over a lot of the time, and that's something that Kendrick I feel like really got right with this album because it's on 2 discs, right? And
Hi.
it feels like there's 2 different
Oh
sections
shit.
of it.
Well, hold on.
It feels like, the first part of it is, dealing with things about the
I'm
past
doing
and coping
something,
with
so don't
that and in the
interrupt
present.
me.
And then it feels like the second part of the disc is more or less the same thing, but it's about the perception of that and how it actually plays into, his life moving forward. And I think that's a really like emotionally resonant order
Yeah,
for the album. It feels like progress, like it feels like a progression.
I agree with that. I can agree with that. Some things might be lost in translation for people who paid more attention to newer music,
Mm-hmm.
or just maybe just people in general.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm also saying that because of Auntie's Diary song of his.
Yep.
I
I
feel
was
that's
thinking that.
that's
That's what I thought
definitely
you meant.
it's definitely one of the songs that'll be lost in translation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, since it is him talk about like two of his relatives coming out as trans, and I guess with the way he chose to word it might not sit well with some people.
For sure. Okay, I remember we were talking about it. That's gonna get it's gonna get clipped on TikTok and taken out of context.
I
People
guess
that
the
don't listen to Kendrick like that.
yeah, I think the only thing that'll create much problems is the fact that you know, mainly in the lyrics, he
Hmm.
says his auntie is a man now, and he continues using like the she her pronouns, and then for his cousin like he him,
Hmm.
despite the fact that the transition. But I chose to interpret that song like, oh, maybe he's just singing it as like in the perspective of him as a kid more so than him as a man. But that's I don't really know when these events took place, so I can't say for sure.
I can feel a little bit of both in it. Like I can feel some parts he talks about it. Like he says drinking parmesan with her hat turned backwards and then stuff like that. Like I guess that's like the vision that he remembers seeing as a kid, and then like now he's talking about it looking back as an adult and saying like, oh, so the signs were there, I just didn't recognize them.
Which I think
That's
which
kind of
should
what it
be
felt.
yeah, which I think will be relatable for a lot of people that like him, right?
Hmm.
Like maybe there'll be a point where they think back on some things and they realize like, oh, it was obvious, but I couldn't see it at first.
Hmm. I feel that for sure.
I guess since you mentioned it, you know what? Let me go with Kenny. Kenny, what's your rating?
I don't really get to listen to the album as much as I'd like to, so this is
Oh
like
damn.
this rating is definitely. I only got to listen to it like twice,
Mm.
but
I mean, same.
this rating is definitely like very early, so it can possibly change. But I'm teetering between a 7 and an 8 right now for
Damn.
me
7 and
personally.
8. Woo! Critical
Woo!
Kenny, baby.
So
Why you
what?
say that? I say,
Um,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, for me, it's just like I'm not really familiar with all the songs just yet.
I see.
Also, like this is also like a piece of Kendrick that I've kind of dreaded seeing again, which is like Hotep Kendrick a bit. A lot of it's popping up a bit, and that pisses me off.
Okay, that's. I guess that's the
What?
other. I think that's the other thing that might drive some
Tap
people
in.
off.
Yeah, that shit is just annoying. I'm not
Ese
trying to
no hay
hear
algo
that
más.
ridiculousness.
Mm.
But overall though, like I enjoyed the album. Like still 7 and 8 are still above average. So I mean, if a nigga is getting tired about it, I mean you can cry. I I'll just tell
Damn.
you,
You about
still
to
Uh,
upset
above
some people,
average,
Kenny.
huh?
I say you about to upset some people.
I mean, they can go cry. I guess it's still above average. I don't know what they want me to say.
I
It's
mean,
above average. Hey, it's still better than most niggas. Like, calm down.
that's true. Fucking Kenny Fantano here.
Yeah. And, like, I don't think A7 is anything to scoff at. Anyways, like, you get a 7, you basically just hooped. Like, anything past a 5 really is just hooping. um,
Yeah, yeah, it
I
is.
mean,
I know you've been
so
rating things a little bit lower, so I'll take that for what it is.
no, I just rate shit lower. You're not a very harsh grader. That's why. I don't think we should scale to each other really. You
That's what
definitely
I'm
on the
saying.
more nicer side. I'm definitely more critical. Like I'm like, all
That's
right,
what
I'll
I'm
give it to you the way you want
saying.
it. But yeah, like I mean, like there's definitely a lot of songs that I really like, from the more lyrical songs to the. I'm not gonna lie. I've saw a lot of stuff like on hip hop heads where like people were like, they're all Rich Spirit's definitely the worst songs, even though
But
it's better than every. I'm like, I mean, if I'm gonna
Uh
be
huh.
honest with you, I mean, there's a song I kind of probably just wouldn't ever play by myself. Like it's definitely if I'm listening it through it all the way through, I'm playing it. But if it just pops on a playlist, I'm definitely skipping that junk.
which one?
Uh, there's a few. Maybe we cry together. The junk is kind of just annoying after a while.
That's the way. Yeah,
It's
that's
definitely it's the vibe. You're listening to the album as an experience song rather than I'm putting this in the playlist.
Oh, I mean,
or it's a
For
or
me
it's
at
a
least.
toxic relationship playlist song
it.
No,
or a
Oh,
because
breakup
then
song.
I just have literal R&B, not
oh my.
people yelling at each other as entertainment.
Nah, I would put that in a
Yeah,
toxic relationship playlist or
What?
like a breakup playlist or something.
yeah, but I'm just saying for me though, like I just don't care for it. It's just kind of like again, it's just haha, like this is like as an idea, I think it's great. Like it's like, okay, yeah, like it's the idea of like how a relationship can turn toxic and how both people in the relationship can do each other dirty and be wrong, and no one really wants to take responsibility or accountability for their actions. Yeah, cool. Like I'm not trying to hear that like on a casual day, like or if I'm listening to a bunch of R&B love songs about maybe even breaking up or being in a toxic relationship. That's definitely not one I would ever go to. Like it's definitely a I'm listening to this album in specific, and that's why this is playing.
We'll have to
But
agree to disagree.
you know what?
I said we'll have to agree to disagree. The
I
classic.
mean, I mean, this is my opinion time right now. I mean, it's not really about agreeing or anything. I'm just saying what I'm feeling.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, like uh, yeah. I mean, I'm not that familiar with the album as I'd like to be though. But I definitely think it's like a 7 or an 8. It's definitely not bad. I mean, I doubt there's really that many people that are gonna grade it that low that care for lyrical content. Anyways, like, it's definitely not gonna go below a 7 for most
Yeah,
people. I don't think.
I can agree with that. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's an album that deserves to go lower than a 7 for sure. I just think it's nice to have I guess an album for its resonation and vibing more so than well than having playlists and getting lit. Have that balance again
I mean,
in
I'm,
rap.
I'm,
But
I
I,
mean,
I I get what you mean. There comes a point that everybody has their phase where the brother Hotep lyrical conscious rappers
yeah,
are the
like I
favorite
mean,
thing, and then it wears off, and then it becomes a bit corny. And
cause I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like. For a lot of this album, he's him talking about his own experiences, but at the same time, I'm just like sometimes I'm just like, I don't know if it's your experience, man, but like I don't know how this scales to everything right here. Like I think his one of his best songs probably is the Yonti Diaries, considering it touches upon like not just him but the idea of homophobia within the black community and how that's handled, and the fact that a lot of gay people just don't receive any type of respect from most black people in the community, and people are kind of flagrant about it. And they kind of just say, "Hey, it's the," and that's why I like the Heart Part 4 because it kind of ties into the entire album. It's like, "Hey, this is culture. You don't deserve respect." And Kendrick's like, "I mean, yeah, we treat people trash, and we say, the F slur, and we
yeah,
and we
Like
we treat them badly. We treat them badly." And then it's just like, that's not right. That's not culture. It's just us being terrible people. I really think. Like, I mean, it's hilarious because I'm just like, yeah, there's a lot of. I'm not gonna lie, there's definitely some people who, for example, who I know, who are mutuals of a person that I know who's come out and they've said some things like, oh yeah, don't do that gay stuff around me or whatever the case, which low key kind of makes me mad because I'm just like, so there's no point in them coming out, just like, yeah, you're out, but like, you're not really out. Don't do any gay stuff around me. It's like, bro, I am gay, so I
don't
can't
be
be
yourself
around you.
around me.
I
That's
can't. I
crazy.
am. Yeah, that person's just like I am gay, so I can't do anything around you. Crazy. Like I
Yeah,
mean,
I
like,
feel that
like
sentiment because
the
that's
black
what
community is definitely not as progressive as people trying to make it out to be, and I think this
it's getting
album
a
kind
little
of
bit
calls it
better.
out.
Yeah, I would
mm,
say what's it called? Another thing that I appreciate about that is like the fact that in a lot of songs that Kendrick does in general, and especially in this album, he'll put himself, he'll use himself as the example to like to speak on issues that affect a lot more people, and that's one of the things uh, that I feel like is really important in this one, especially like you're saying, Auntie Diaries, uh, Mother Eyes Sober, Father Time, United in Grief, stuff like that. It like touches on he's using his own personal experience, but it's not, you know, it's not just his experience. It's really relatable because it's an experience that a lot of people, especially in the black community, go
I'll 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 disagree on the relatable part, but I agree with everything else. I can't relate to some of that
Why do
shit.
you
I
think it's
can't lie.
not? Why do you think it
I've
isn't
never
relatable?
outwardly disrespected gay people to their face. I've never done that shit.
But have you had a tough father?
Huh?
Have you had a tough father?
Yeah, but it's for separate reasons as to what he described. But I mean, that's besides the point. Like, I mean,
That's relatable.
I've agreed with you. Like, yeah, like it's very important and talks about a lot of issues that happen in the black community.
Mhm.
I think that I think it's just a good album.
mm, mm.
So what's one of your favorite songs, Marvin?
Oh yeah,
Out
it
of
was
the
it was Crown. Mine
crowd?
was Crown
Um,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Um, I guess I like it because of the. Yes, it's just talk about how people like to, I guess, idolize whoever's their idol too much, and
Mm-hmm.
they really shouldn't be doing that. Whether it's like Kendrick himself because he says that nah, your savior, or like,
Yeah.
or whoever's your favorite celebrity, because they're all just
Right.
people. You shouldn't really be putting him or anyone else on a pedestal like that. And I guess I kind of appreciate it in the perspective that he kind of feels the weight of that. Is he since he's aware that that's kind of like the situation he has between him and his fan base and who he knows in their fan base.
Mm,
Mhm.
Because it's not easy.
Right.
mm,
And, like being someone's idol is never an easy thing, or at
for
least I
sure.
should say I can't imagine it being an easy thing because you have to live up to uh,
No,
certain
go ahead, Emma.
like expectations that don't make sense or
Mhm.
are too big or you know and you're the idol now, but like soon they find out about something about you that they don't like, and then they just throw you away or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Drop you like a
Like
bag of
that plays
bricks.
on that one part when he was saying in Rich Spirit, he says, celebrity do not mean integrity, you fool." A lot of people
Exactly.
idolize these celebrities, but that don't mean that they're, the
I
idols that
mean,
you want them to be.
yeah, I think he even touches on it, I think in Crown, where it's like kind of like a situation where like you're kind like as the celebrity themselves, you're kind of forced into this box by whatever parasocial relationship a person has of you. That's why a
Mhm.
lot of celebrities like that's why
For
like
sure.
I like how a lot of the album talks about the accountability of
Mhm.
others in the black community because it's just like yeah, like I don't really care if, for example, let's say I don't really care if YMW Melly is your idol, you really like his music. There's a pretty good chance he killed those dudes.
'Cause-
I don't know if the trial's up, but there's a pretty good chance he's killed those dudes. Not to say that it's a right to just pre-say he did it or just pre-say he didn't. I'm just like, hey, innocent until proven guilty, but understand if he is guilty, ain't no freedom.
yeah.
Like I don't care if you thought he made good music, so he's a good person. It's the same idea when people do the same thing over people they find attractive in general. They was oh yeah, that my person must be a great person. You know what I mean? They look great, seem
Mhm.
to take care of it, so they must be a really nice person. That's not the truth. That's just something that makes it easier for you to I guess
Conceptualize.
identify with like it's easy uh word association kind of like it's like oh pretty equal good
Mhm.
or handsome equals good
Mhm.
famous and good at making music equal good. That's what a lot of people think, and I'm just
Celebrity
like
do not mean
not at
integrity,
all.
you fool.
like I'm just gonna, and I think he even holds himself to that thing. Like if he just ends
Mhm.
up being a trash person, it sucks. He's
Yeah,
trash.
yeah.
I'm
That's
sorry.
why I feel like a lot of
I'm
that
like,
what he was talking about with that point in particular plays into like his own personal accountability in his situation and how he's like he's not the savior like you were saying. He's not the savior. He's just a man trying to do right and live his life and do better. He's
Honestly,
but I
taking that
mean,
person and he's taking that personal accountability over all the things that have happened to him in his life. And he's like, expressing that like, hey, even though that shit happened, it's on me now. And I gotta heal.
mhm. What about you, Hakeem? What's your favorite song?
My favorite song? I have a top three.
all right.
Well, I'll for the time's sake, what's the one?
uh, I can't give a one because they're
Roll the
all
dice.
my favorite for different reasons.
I mean,
Just
we
roll the
got.
dice.
I mean,
You might as well that hoe.
we're only like
Alright.
23 minutes, like 24 minutes in, so I guess we can, spare some time for Hakeem's
Okay.
three
Mhm.
songs.
Yeah, I'll say my top three in no particular order
Mm-hmm.
are Father Time, Rich Spirit, and Savior.
Mm.
Would you like to explain why?
Yeah. I'll say, and I was already touching on this earlier. I think the reason why Father Time is one of my favorites is because it's such a there's such a huge, and this is no secret to anybody. Um there's a huge conversation around fatherhood and its effects in the black community. And I feel like Father Time is a really good example of voicing a lot of the stresses, the problems, the mental instability, the mental hurdles that come with having a certain type of relationship with your father, or any type of relationship with your father, especially in the black community, because it's so common for dads to either be like super like hard or just not there at all. So I feel like that was a really good, really relatable song that like brought up a lot of the things that a lot of people just don't think about. About being like working hard and being really prideful and not really backing down and being vulnerable, but like you gotta care about yourself and do what's good for you. Like feeling like you got a chip on your shoulder, and I feel like that's a really good song.
Mm-hmm.
A Rich Spirit, I feel like is I feel like Rich Spirit is contrary. I feel like it's not about the money to me. I feel like it's literally about the spirit, like about having a rich spirit, like as far as having peace of mind and and focusing on personal accountability and personal growth and doing that and finding peace and like solace through that, regardless of a lot of external factors. And I feel like rich spirit is kind of like a culmination of that, of like that feeling, like when you do just have that sense of inner peace that's not really affected by a lot of stuff that's going on around you. That's
Yeah.
why I feel like that song really resonates. And then
Mm.
Savior, I feel like is Savior is it's two different things. It feels like to me. One part, the part that we were talking about earlier with how he's saying like I am not your savior
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
It's just,
It's like, hmm?
no, I just realized that I mixed up Savior and Crown. I blended the
Oh,
two
and
since they're
Crown.
yeah, because their topics are similar. So I guess I just realized that. Oh,
Hmm.
but yeah, yeah. Continue.
Yeah, I feel like Savior's really cool because there's some different parts to it. There's like there's one part to it where he talks about there's like three different parts. One part is like where he's saying like just because I'm out here talking, just because I'm a celebrity, just because I'm out here doing big things, and other celebrities too. It's like we are not just saviors, and that ties into the whole point from a lot of the other songs. It's like personal accountability, saying like, hey, the person who's gonna save you is you. And another part of that is looking at his perspective as far as how he looks at particular people that come up around him, like especially people that say they're for the people and people that say that they're really for the people, but really they're just overzealous and capitalistic, and it's not genuine, because that's super relatable. I feel like I've run across quite a few people like that, and I feel like people sometimes think that about me, but I find that really relatable.
Mm, definitely, definitely, and I can vibe with about the
Hmm.
album.
Yeah.
Um, Guess, do you even have anything negative to say about it? Any cons? I know you say
About
it's a
the
10 out
album,
of yeah. I know you say
yeah,
it's a 10
I
out of
think
10, but
I think it's a 10 out of 10. But there are songs um that personally for me I wouldn't listen to them a lot, like Worldwide Steppers. I would probably only listen to that like during the album.
yeah.
Let me see, Mr. Morale. That one's not really one of my favorites. Um, yeah, there's some like as an album. There's individual songs obviously that like I'm not a super fan of, but it does play an important part in the experience of the album. So even though I don't like them, they do provide something. But there are some points where I'm listening to it where not everything hits. So, but the pieces that do hit are way, way more often than the pieces that don't hit. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. There are definitely some songs that kind of wouldn't really listen to on their own,
Mhm.
like N95 and a couple of others, mainly because like they're kind of weak without the rest of the songs to help with the narrative for the album.
Mhm.
Like we cry together, you know, it's just look. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm
That's
not
an
gonna hold you.
experience.
That's an experience, and I'm not gonna hold you. When I first listened to that, I was mad confused. I'm like, wait, did I accidentally switch to some shit?
Mhm.
No, that's an actual song. But with Kendrick and the chick acting out a whole argument, doing stuff,
Yeah,
he on a whole make you go
that's a
through.
great song.
It's a great song. Got me going through looking at a whole like I don't know soap opera drama scene
Literally.
just for it to end with them like making love on the couch.
Mhm.
But I guess that's just how it is with people. I wouldn't know because I've always been single. But
Hey,
I guess it's something relatable for the couples out there that I guess have a problem with being in arguments all the time and then they make up and do their thing.
I would hope that it isn't really relatable to those couples.
well, it is.
I mean, you don't got people don't got a choice. If people don't got a choice, Kenny. Yeah, some people can't escape their actions.
Mhm.
I
No, no,
mean,
sir,
you
no,
gotta
sir.
try at that point.
They can only escape it by redeeming themselves and atoning and never doing it again. But
Yeah,
they can't escape the fact that it happened.
feel it. Actually, yeah, that's a song. Like, I honestly, that's one of that's if I'm making a top five for the album, that's in the top five for good songs.
We cried together.
Do I like? Yeah. Do I like listening to it all the time? No. Do I like listening to it often? No. But the reason that it exists and the perspective that it provides is incredibly valuable to the community. Incredibly.
Yeah, so they don't be toxic like that.
Yeah.
But you know, some people they don't gravitate towards, as Kenny would say, the brother Hotep
Hmm.
messages. So you know, you can only hope.
Hmm.
I don't think it's nothing wrong with that. Though. I guess like for some people, it's like depending on the artist, it's a little corny when they're trying to be all like woke and shit. Um,
Nah, that's what
Yeah,
art is about.
I would disagree. I mean, I think nowadays it's kind of like a lot of performative wokeness, and that's why a lot of people are kind of put off by it these days. And
Hmm.
not
yeah,
to say that Kendrick does it specifically, but there's just so many people trying to be woke. It's actually just a bit nauseating now, even if it's like in good faith. And I was like, all
uh,
right, bro,
and
we get it.
just you wait, Kenny. One day, someone's gonna convince the CEO of King Kong consciousness himself, Dr. Umar,
And
to release the mixtape,
mm,
and then the rap
I'm
game
just
will.
saying,
Bitch.
all I'll say is I'm glad that there's just like a few conscious rappers that we can listen to, and the rest are kind of just mindless. So like you don't have to always be oversaturated. I'd rather be oversaturated with mindlessness than oversaturated with people with messages, because some people don't have the
I
best
bet.
way of portraying certain messages. I'll say
Sometimes people have a message, but it doesn't make sense.
That's not a tech. That's not a take I expected you to have, Kenny. That's crazy.
I take the what.
The take you just said about having more little rappers.
I mean, I've never hated them. I just know the ones that are good and know the ones that are cheeks. I've
Mhm.
never said Lil Uzi Vert trash. Then he ain't. He's not.
He's definitely not.
Yeah. Like Lil Pump, you already know what I said about him. So it's like,
Crazy.
Well,
yeah,
you
I'm not
mean
gonna say
Flasher.
they're not all real niggas are equal.
don't you mean Lil Maga?
Oh god.
Lil Maja.
Speaking of Margaret, man, my man Kodak in their album, bro.
Mhm.
My man Kodak in the album, Maga Kodak.
That's true.
Kodak really
Mm.
put up numbers in this, even if he didn't write it.
You said what?
I said Kodak put up numbers in this, even if he didn't write
I
it.
don't know. Put on
I like
numbers.
the parts that
He
he was
definitely
in.
did what Kodak does.
I liked his parts.
I know. I
Yeah.
did too.
And
I'm not gonna sit here and say like he like stole the show or anything, or there couldn't have been a better feature. But I'm like, he did his thing.
mhm.
You already know.
I,
Florida's best.
not a, I'll definitely say not enough to be like, you know what, I'll listen to Kodak. But I'm just like, you know what? Every time Kodak is on a conscious rappers feature, I'm listening to it.
Mhm.
That it got that out of me. But I'm just like Kodak, man, he's such a hit or miss. I don't know.
Mhm.
Florida's best, baby.
But
Yeah, apparently, I was gonna
but
say, I'm looking at. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I was like, but yeah, like regardless of the like the performative activism a lot of people do, the reason why I really appreciate this album in specific is simply because Auntie Diaries simply exists. No rapper in the world is definitely gonna make a more positive outlook on uh anything LGBTQ like at all. That isn't a female rapper at least.
Well,
Like a lot of these dude rappers, they don't definitely hate them. But, like I guess the more mainstreamer guys are definitely, you know, yeah, we don't like them that
I,
gay stuff and
I don't
stuff
know.
like that.
I think J. Cole's might be
Oh
able
yeah,
to.
I mean, people like J. Cole probably not, but I'm just saying, like, your little boosies, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Your
okay, we already know. About Stop! No, 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 no. Little we already know about Boozy.
I mean, no, I'm just saying though, like there's people of the Boosie era that are just like Boosie, and they're
Yeah.
gonna say the same things as Boosie. That's all I'm
Oh,
gonna say.
I'm just waiting for someone to randomly find this fucking video and be like, Boosie, the nigga, it's Boozy, this fucking bumps or whatever.
Well, Boosie? I don't know.
Just,
I don't know.
but yeah, you're right. Like you're right. A lot of
Yeah,
dudes.
because
So
like I forget who was also like making a specific effort to to trash on Lil Nas X because he was gay. I think it was Dave East. I think it was
maybe.
Dave East that was saying wild stuff too. And I was like, yeah, he's that ain't right, whatever the case. I'm like, man,
well,
a lot of y'all care about something that does not affect you. I wish I could do that. I
yeah.
wish I could do that. I never directly interact with this, but I care so much. I couldn't do
Take off the foo-foo. Take off
Yeah.
the cloud chase.
it.
Take off
Yes.
the Wi-Fi.
It's not really a cloud chase. It's kind of just like I don't know what it is because like it's not like they get positive. Actually,
Take off the homophobia.
I'm just saying, like I'm just
Take
like
it off.
Yeah.
that's why I appreciate Auntie Diaries. I'm like, all right, because like because I mean, like it's nice to see them, in an album that points out to the black community, some of our wildness, you know, that song exists as well. That hey, a lot of us are homophobic.
Let's
What
not
do
do
you have to say
Yeah.
about that? And don't act like that's not the case. Don't act like we're all super progressive. No, a lot of y'all are trash to your family members who are gay.
Yeah. They're kind of wilding out.
Faggot, faggot, faggot. We didn't know no better.
That's a band, bro. You gotta chill out.
Hey, my channel.
We did.
Yeah,
My
dude.
channel. No.
Nah, we're good, bro. Trust.
No, we're not. Keen's trying to get you if you're ever trying to get partnered, don't ever stream with that man Keen. That's what I just heard. It's unpartnerable. Crazy.
That is. At least I can code switch.
That's insane. Man said it like there wasn't gonna be an issue.
I'm on YouTube. YouTube will come after people's whole
Yeah.
life for the littlest things.
Yeah. That's all right though.
Yeah, because it's not your shit, right?
I mean, I'm an active participant, so I do care about it. It's not like I don't care.
Well,
No, you kind of said it flagrantly. I'm not saying you don't care, but you kind of just pulled that out though.
Hey man, I don't think.
I did.
a
You
BB.
definitely put more at risk than to spice it up.
Hey, it'll be all right. It's just one video.
Hey, that's what Pokemon said.
That's what
Hey,
a lot of
Pokemon,
people say.
and where is she now though? Still fucking chilling.
Yeah, but the black community has definitely put her on ice. The same with
That's all right.
PewDiePie.
That's all right. She's still chilling.
I mean, we kind of like thrive off the black community. We don't get that.
I mean,
Enough white people here yet.
nah, that's okay though. We're not. It's not like I said. It's not like I said shit against the black community though.
So what?
It's not like I said anything against the black community.
I mean, you said it to the LGBTQ community, and they're pretty strong.
They know. They know the song doesn't mean.
You really just got done saying that it's gonna get misconstrued.
Hey, well, if it gets misconstrued, it gets misconstrued. But that's not our intention because we actually know and love people who are part of the LGBT community. So get that out of your heads, people, right now.
That's true.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
that is a good point for us
I mean,
to bring up.
with context, yeah. But
Please,
that shit out,
please don't cancel.
I'll cover her.
Please don't hate us.
And I'm glad we are adding context now. Like before, I was like, oh god, oh no.
Please don't
I'm
come after our
sorry.
souls.
Yeah. I'll cover her. See, I got it. Guys, I got it. We'll just get canceled that quickly.
Oh no, let's not say that anymore. Because there's only so many times again. Imagine someone saying the N-word flagrantly, be like, no, but I really love black people and I know black people.
We just gotta let a white girl say nigga. Kendrick said
it. I guess so.
Yeah, I'll talk about. I want to talk about the Rich interlude real quick. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting the Kodak thing. It felt unexpected, considering like they're kind of like I don't know. They kind of seem far apart in terms of the mentality, right? Because Kendrick is more along the lines of like, yeah, I live that street life, and not to say that I don't still engage, but it's definitely not the main thing that I do enough to like risk everything. Whereas Kodak, as we know, is a bit of the opposite. He's still engaging in those activities that may harm him or his family later on.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a shock for me to see them work together on this idea, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
On the Rich interlude and also on so what song was he on? Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
That's what I was thinking, honestly. At the first part of it, the Rich interlude, I was like, because Kodak, like, when I think of Kodak, I think of just like, I consider Kodak a little rapper, not little as in like he's a small rapper, but you know what I mean. But I'm saying for the viewers, like he's just like a here today, gone tomorrow trap rapper. When I think about Kodak sometimes, and he's just like not really that introspective of a rapper, and that contrast that you were talking about, that was one of the first things that I thought about.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Marvin? What do you think about the inclusion of Kodak to the mix?
I definitely think it was an interesting choice. Out of all the other mainstream rappers he could have brought on here, he picked Kodak. I don't know why, but I think Kodak brought something interesting that I think I kind of would. I feel like if other people, someone else were to come on, just wouldn't hit as well as when he did it. I feel like, I guess it's the way he talks and the way he raps added, I guess, a little something to the lyrics, his lyrics. But I don't really know how to explain it.
To add on to that, I feel like it plays into a little bit of the spirit of the album that he did choose Kodak for some of these parts, because it is kind of like that, like two parts of the rap community coming together, which is like another big theme of this album is just like, hey, we're all human. Just because Kodak raps about the superficial stuff and Kendrick doesn't mean they can't get on the same album and hoop.
Mm-hmm.
True. I agree with that. Um, I feel like that's something some people should embrace more for like the new favorite rappers of this generation and then rappers of other older generations should be able to come together, you know. Assuming they like the others' work, you know. Cuz you know some OG rappers, famous or not, they don't they don't really respect the rappers now. Some of them,
Mhm.
like rappers like Kodak and them, I don't think they get a lot of respect from some of the OGs, but the other OGs respect what's going on though. I hope more of them come together to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, uh I'm just, I thought it was a pretty okay album. Uh I don't know, like, that's one of the I think another big reason as to why I don't really push on Nine or anything is I have a feeling that this is gonna be a hot minute till we hear from this nigga again.
You don't want to gas him up
Not
because he's
not
gonna
as
leave.
long of a time. Not as long of a time, of course, but like,
uh,
it's gonna be a hot minute because he does not feature on songs for whatever reason.
mhm.
Well, I kind of know why, because like his features are kind of bad, but like, but
I am
hey,
the
man,
Omega.
at least pop up, bro. I don't care if it's trash. At least pop up. I'm not gonna lie,
I
I'll
am the
never forget
Omega.
whenever he went on that Rich the Kid song, what, New Freezer or something
Oh
like that.
yeah.
And
No freeze.
everybody was saying he ruined the song. I was like, damn. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, low key, he did though.
It feels like whenever Kendrick features, he just be saying anything. He don't care. That's what it sounds like.
That's true. I
Yeah,
feel
like
like
I mean, like don't get me wrong. Like, there's definitely some features he be killing, right? Like, I think he
mm-hmm.
killed Classic Man. I think he killed
Control
I
for
think he
sure.
killed what is it what?
Control for sure.
Hey man, hey, you're not allowed to talk about that, man.
Murdered
We don't
half the
know.
rap game in Control.
Hey, just because the Big Sean fans are silent, don't mean they disappeared. They might come for us. Don't do that.
That goes for Jermaine Cole and Crit Wale.
But there's definitely some that he does well on. But there's definitely like Mask Off. I was like, man,
Feature a mask off?
huh?
Did he feature a mask off?
Yeah, on the remix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't
I
like
know
the
I
worst
remember
thing,
that.
but it's definitely like I'm just like, you really should start working with like West Coast artists. I got the highest keys. Like, he definitely showed like on Rich Spirit that he can definitely do some of the West Coast hyphy beats
Mhm.
and the
Yeah.
style. So I'm just like, yeah, like there's the YG and some other West Coast rappers that you can definitely collab with, possibly, hopefully. But then again, he's for some reason he has this weird obsession with rapping with Southern dudes that might flop on their verse. Looking at Future,
Okay.
the what's Future on King's Dead? I'll never forgive him for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That song was a vibe, and it's in the middle, bro. If it was in the beginning, it is put him out at the beginning or put him at the end, I could still listen to that song. The fact that he's just smack dab in the middle, bro, I'm not gonna skip past that. Like, it's so nasty.
Rosebud of the week.
Come on, don't do it like that. Come on.
Mhm.
Don't do that to King misogyny.
Mhm.
Future, speaking of features, I do not like Future's features on actual songs when they have beat switches to Future's beat and then he just ruins the song.
I
Like
don't
that
know,
was
man. He
great.
be killing Drake sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's what I'm saying. Like Life is Good. He ruined Life is Good for
No, I
sure.
think his verse was better than Drake's. I can't lie to
Really?
you. Yeah.
Wow.
Drake's
That's crazy.
I don't think Drake's is bad, but I definitely enjoyed
Future's
Futures.
more.
just that
I
Drake's
feel like it
misogyny
just
was not strong enough.
I'm dead. I feel like for the vibe of what song are you talking about?
You said you were talking about Life is Good, right?
Yeah. For the vibe for Life is Good, I feel like how it started, like when Future hopped in, I feel like it just took me out of the vibe. I was just like, man, I was really enjoying this. Now I'm listening to trap.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. I'll just say this. I'll say this. I do agree with you that I'm not a fan of beat switches for separate people
Mhm.
in the same song. Like, like this might be a hot take for the general public, but like the beat switch in sicko mode, I wasn't a fan of.
100%. Sicko Mode is a 40-second song as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, that's
Okay.
true. That's true.
Right,
Ticket.
because I mean, like you know, like it's different. Like I mean, I think there's like ways to applicate it. Like for example, like they get like a separate I guess like progression like with different instruments, but it's pretty much the same ish beat. But like I don't think an entire beat switch, or if you're not by yourself, is that impactful because it's just like it might as well be another song. That's my immediate thinking. You know how I immediately think. I'm like, okay, you might as well just put out a different song, bro. Like it's not that deep. You
Yeah,
did not
for
have to
real.
do this.
Yes. Oh yeah. Since I'm also streaming this live. I should mention that we do have people commenting.
Oh, we
Oh,
Oh,
do.
people are commenting.
What they saying?
well, a young anime Blaze 9000 definitely has mentioned that sicko mode. If sicko mode was just the first part, it would have been GG.
It would have been GG. Yeah.
That's on God. That's on Ja.
Good on jaw.
On
Thank you.
stop. I don't know what that means. I'm ignorant. I'm sorry. I'm fraudulent.
You gotta get your Rastafari up.
gotta get my Rastafari up. I gotta get my
Mhm.
hood up. I need to get my black up. Damn, there's too much to do. Gotta get my Spanish up. Damn.
Crazy. Yeah.
Of course, it's Caleb. I was about
Anime
to.
Blaze 9000. Yeah. I knew who
It's,
it was when you said that, but I was just like, I'll just act like I don't know.
I I didn't know. I was like, who is this person? I'll just say his name out loud. I knew it was Caleb. I was gonna add him and everything, but I decided, nah, let me not put him on blast. I don't want to give people ammo against him. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I mean, overall, like I think it's. I don't know why. I forget. One of my steppers was the one that was really wild, right?
What
When
was?
you're listening, I remember I was in the car. I had just dropped my mom off at the airport. I was driving back. I was listening to like I was going, all right, let me listen to like the first 7 songs. All right, and I was while I'm driving because that's probably how long it'll take me to get home.
Mhm.
So I'm listening to Worldwide Steppers. I was like, yo, this is highly unpleasant.
Doom, 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 doom. Oh,
This
the
is
beat?
highly unpleasant.
The beat?
No, I think I forget if it was because I forget if it was Worldwide Steppers or a different song. I remember like he was going in. And I was, oh man, this is lit. And then like he does like a beat switch in the middle. I'm like, oh god, it feels bad now. Like what are you doing? We have the vibe. What do you?
Let me see. Was it?
I forget what it was, but I was just like, it's not that I hated the song. I was like,
Mhm.
I can never. Like, that was gonna be the song, and it's just not.
Yeah.
Feels bad, man. But yeah, I mean, I think the album is generally uh pretty good. I definitely would. I'll say this because I don't think. I mean, I feel like we're preaching to the choir, so I'll say this to like maybe try and counteract that. If there's someone who happens upon this and has gotten this far, I definitely will ask. If you don't understand, okay, let's say I'll assume that they maybe have a problem with the Auntie Diaries and stuff like that. I think they should give the entire album a listen and try to put themselves in the perspective of Kendrick in this album and to see if they feel the same way. Not to say if you don't change your mind, hey man, it'd be like,
It'd be
but
like that.
and I really do think that like, but like the internet helps with this, idea of public opinion, court of public opinion. but I do really think that maybe just give this a shot for a little bit because I don't think I've seen. I don't think it's that many people too, but I'm just saying, just in case there's one person that sees this. Um, I've seen a lot of people, make wild comments about the content in Auntie Diaries and how it perpetuates certain things, and I'm just like, I think you should give it a listen to and maybe analyze it a bit more if you can. And if you feel the same way afterwards, yeah, I mean, it'd be like that. But I do think there's merit to people like me, Keeman Marvin, and the a lot of the other people who enjoy this style of rap and storytelling. Like there's merit to us saying that like there's more than meets the eye is what I want to
Yeah,
basically say.
I guess this is a good lesson. Teach people who.
Faggot, faggot, faggot. Say it together.
That's insane.
Yeah. At least it's not zero.
I'm just saying that's just out partnered. We're done.
Don't demonetize us.
That's
I'm
not. You
Good
can't ask
people.
that anymore.
I'm not even monetized in the first
That's what I'm
place.
saying. It's not. It's a
Hey,
rap.
bro.
It's a super rap now.
Come on,
First
YouTube.
time we ought to be able to slide it in. Now? Hell no.
But yeah, I feel that's a big thing when it comes to messages and anything though. Like at some
Mhm.
point we gonna have to be more open to these things, right? Because
Mhm.
one, we can't know what's the bad thing without it appearing, and two, we gotta understand that people's lives are different. There is no
Mhm.
uniform way, and sometimes people just react to certain things in a way that's just not what you would want them to, but they did,
Mhm.
and you have to, someone's have to live with that, and that's just part of the growth.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess for me, as someone who's a fan of Kendrick, who knows that Auntie Diaries is definitely gonna be the thing that I'm pretty sure Twitter is all over about and really upset
Mhm.
about.
I kind of want to look on there now and see what people are saying.
And just give Kendrick the benefit of the doubt, right? I know I know those of the LGBT plus community have been through a lot, especially trans people. But um you know, I guess it's important to know that it's just everyone has a different experience, and I guess it's just better for people to share that experience, especially when it's about like the realization of things and not really like anything that's like demonizing certain groups, um so give it a listen. Just try to think of it in the perspective of someone who isn't like trans, realizing that, oh, my relative is trans, and maybe it'll work out.
Mm.
Yo,
Yeah.
somebody just said something very interesting.
Oh yeah, on Twitter.com.
Yeah, somebody's saying that they have a theory that Auntie Diaries is from the perspective of Shireen.
The rain.
Yeah, because he says, uh, my cousin Demetrius is Marianne now, and he says Shireen has a favorite cousin, Demetrius,
Ah,
from Good Kid, Mad City. Yo, the Kendrick lore.
Kendrick Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
The next bit, the next big thing. May- Maybe that could be our topic next time: cinematic universes, and if we're tired of them.
That's
I
a
mean,
good
if they're done well, no, they're done like trash. Yep. That's a very short topic. If
DC.
it's DC, no, we don't want that shit no more.
I
If it's
guess.
Marvel, all right. What you got?
You know what I mean? What you got? We already have it. If it's expanding.
No. I mean, maybe it was like the animated universe of DC, but that's a different conversation, of
A
course.
different conversation for another
Yeah.
time. Uh, yeah. It's that's our album review of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Big stuff.
Hakeem gives it a 10 out of 10. I give it a 9.8 out of 10, even though technically it's 10 out of 10 in my heart. Kenny gives it like a. I'm gonna give it a median, an average score. I'm gonna go halfway and say he gives it a 7.5 out of 10.
For right now.
For right
Again,
now,
I
for right
haven't
now,
given it multiple listens, as many as I would want.
Understandable.
he needs some more time to simmer and ruminate
Yeah.
with the content.
My brother,
My
he needs to
brother,
open his third eye.
you got
If
that
that's the effect of the album, I'm giving it a 0. Suddenly, everybody becomes a Hotep. The album's getting a mad fast 0.
Bro, I need to get me a
Assalamu
Kente. I need to get me a Kente cap. Let me get me some Hotep symbols so I can start preparing my journey to surpass Umar as the. Well, he wants to be the Prince of Pan Africanism. I'll be the Emperor.
The Emperor of Pan Africa.
Ooh, we can't settle for less, Umar.
Mhm.
But in seriousness, no jokes though. But yeah, the album is great. It's not gonna get below a 7. If it does, then sad to be you. This was the Untitled Goon Roundtable, and we'll see you guys next time. Be easy.
All right, have a beautiful time.